So welcome back to Donington Park here on the Yamaha Racing YouTube page, and we're just seconds away from the start of the second and final race of the weekend here at the UK round of the World Superbike Championship of 2024 for the FIM Yamaha R3 bLU cRU World Cup. And it really was hotting up yesterday with Mark Vick coming through for Mallorca for a second victory of this ever-changing 2024 title race. Well, slight delay. I've actually just run all the way across the paddock here to get here to the commentary box in time for the start. Gonzalo Sanchez, number 23, has a 14-point advantage then over Mark Vick, yesterday's winner, with another 25 available here. And we've had some absolutely fantastic racing so far, not just this season, but this weekend as well. Here is Sanchez. The good news now for everybody is that it is completely dry ahead of race 2. Just seconds to go now then. So, a reminder of yesterday. Mark Vick, Burr, De Percio, but De Percio's on pole position because of yesterday's fastest lap. Here we go for the second race of the weekend for the R3 World Cup. The revs are up, the lights are out, and it is go for the last time this weekend. And who's going to get the whole shot on the run down to Redgate Corner? Gonzalo Sanchez, number 23, the rider from Aragon in Spain, is the championship leader. And guess what? He's the race leader as well here. It's 10 laps in the sunshine, with the sun finally breaking through the cloud for the first time proper at Donington this weekend. It's 3 abreast down through the Craner curbs on the opening lap. And have we got a change at the front? We might have in a moment as we get down to the old hairpin. Eduardo Burr's in there, and so is De Percio, the pole sitter, slotting back down into third place. Somebody really wide in the background and back on the track coming out of the old hairpin. That used to be gravel in the olden days. Now it's asphalt runoff area, and that saved that rider who ran wide there in the background. Sanchez leads, Burr is second, De Percio is third, David Novak is fourth, the Polish rider having finished on the podium yesterday and having just missed out on what would have been his career first victory. Down the back straight and to the Carl Fogarty S's and who is going to get the verdict. Sanchez will try and break the toe. He's certainly looking more comfortable. I spoke with him last night. He wasn't giving too much away, but he's just given the lead away because Burr's gone through on the inside. Look in the background, that's Mark Vick, second in the championship. Yesterday's winner, signalling to Takahashi, who in turn signals to the rest behind him to follow me, and DiPersio's coming through. Sanchez has a big look across his right shoulder there. Oh, he's back up the inside. Absolutely superlative racecraft there from the 15-year-old from Teruel in Aragon in northeastern Spain, and will be ending the season in Aragon. Oh, are they all going to get through Goddard safely at the end of the first lap? And look at the lean angle for Sanchez. Right up onto the curbs on the outside, and somebody's gone even wider in the background, and he's actually flicking up the dust in the background. Burr has a look down into Redgate corner. Sanchez won the super finale last year. That's when the riders from all of the different regions of R3, Cup, Spain, France, Benelux, Italy, Thailand and South America come together, and the winner of the super finale gets a free pass into this, the R3 World Cup, as it now is. And the top three in this will be given supported rides for the Supersport 300 World Championship on Yamaha machinery with their R3s next year. There's a struggle here for Novak in the dry conditions. He's down in 7th place at the moment. The riders have spent the whole day watching the Superbike and Supersport action. We're just coming up to 4:30 in the afternoon now here at Donington. And they did not get a warm-up this morning, so they haven't been on track since they took the checkered flag of race 1 here on Saturday. Now, 4 of them locked together down into the foggy S's. Sanchez, 23 on the outside. Mark Vick, he's done brilliantly to fight his way through. We've just had a race decided because of track limits in the Supersport World Championship. They need to be careful not to touch the green painted areas on the last lap, when it would be an automatic demotion. Any other lap, you've got 3 chances before you'd be given a long lap penalty. Steer clear of the green paint. Sanchez back in front. Vic demoted to 2nd, and it looks like we might be getting another head-to-head here between the top 2 riders in the championship. Sanchez is 15 years of age. Mark Vick, 17 from Palma de Mallorca. Definitely carrying a greater amount of lean angle, isn't he, through Goddard's at the end of the lap. And the reason they weave is because they're trying to break the toe, and then those in the crocodile have to follow to get the slipstream down what is a 300-metre start-finish straight here at Donington Park, named after Tom Wheatcroft, the former owner of the circuit. Sanchez, Vick, Burr and DiPersio is your leading group. Takahashi is 5th. Yamane, who was on pole at the start of the weekend, is in 6th place. There's Burr going through and taking that 2nd place from Mark Vick. They will all be very mindful of the fact that on several occasions already this season, there's been a massive fight for 2nd, which has allowed Sanchez to escape up the road. They don't want that to happen here today, but that was incredible. Burr went through on the left, Vick went round on the right, Sanchez was in the middle, and Sanchez, who went into McLean's in the lead, comes out in 3rd position, and now he's almost 4th, because DiPersio is attacking as well around the right-hander of Coppice and down the back straight. Further back, Yamane and Takahashi, the 2 Japanese riders, 5th and 6th from David Novak, who was on the podium yesterday. Dorian Jolan of France is 8th. Tong Damoon of Thailand is 9th. Mario Salles from Brazil has just passed Tong Damoon, and he's up into that 9th place. Huge moment through the S's for Eduardo Burr. Bump, bump, bump along the serrated edge of the curbs on the outside of the S's. The fact he's still in the race at all is a minor miracle. Sanchez has now got DiPersio attacking him further back. 19 with the pink helmet is the French rider, Dorian Jolan. 46 on the outside is Poland's David Novak. And look at Sanchez. A late lunge on DiPersio. He's run wide at Goddard's, and he loses a position. Tucks in behind Burr. Gonzalo's getting racy this afternoon here at Donington Park. Vick leads. DiPersio is in 2nd place, using all of the racetrack and then some. And Shoma Yamane's now in the mix as well. He had a huge moment coming through Goddard's corner yesterday. I thought it was Cameron Swain who'd saved it. It was actually Shoma Yamane with a miracle save. And this is not the sort of situation that Gonzalo needs for his championship. He goes up the inside, or does he? No, he doesn't. Did you? Oh, and Burr's actually overcooked it and exceed track limits. There's that follow me signal, as if Gonzalo Sanchez is going to listen to you, Eduardo. And Burr's in the middle. Sanchez has gone round him. And he's not the only one. Show me Yamani's having a real go. And it's Sanchez now who cheekily returns the favour and gives the hand gesture back to the rider who just moments ago was ahead of him. And now he's got to look at the back of Sanchez's bike. 42 there, Mario Sales. Novak, 46, side by side with Jolan from France. Behind them is Cameron Swain, number 26, the rider from Australia. Through the S's, no such dramatic moment for Eduardo Burr this time. This is a 10-lap race. The 2/3 cut-off is the end of the 6th lap. This is good news for Gonzalo Sanchez as Vic applies the power, slides his way out of the Melbourne Loop. He's furious. What's he doing? He's slamming his left fist there down on the handlebar, and he loses the lead. Not for long. They're doing themselves no favours at all here, Mark Vic and Alessandro Di Persio, because Sanchez is reeling them in. And now 7 of them are covered by less than 2 seconds. There goes Di Persio. Mario Sales, who is the 7th rider in the train, the Magnificent 7, has just set the fastest lap of the race. That was Takahashi running wide out onto the green paint on the outside. And here comes Sanchez. He's got Vic on his left. He goes through and he takes 2nd place halfway through the race at the end of this lap. That's a nightmare, and I use that word advisedly for Vic and for Di Persio. They had a handy lead. Vic's having none of it. Straight back round the outside. Eduardo Burr, the Brazilian's trying to follow through as well. Di Persio, Vic. Burr goes up the inside of Sanchez. They cannot allow Sanchez to pull ahead any further in this championship. And now he may drop into the clutches of Yamani, Sales and Takahashi. Jolan still 8th from Swain, Novak, Tondermoon, Borgelt. The rider, number 57 from Germany, is still in 12th place. Natalia Rivera subbing for Pietro Anastasi, who's out ill at the moment, recovering at home in Switzerland, and I'm told recovering well. Sunselar for the Netherlands is 14th. And Zanin, who had an incident yesterday, just passed Sunselar actually up to 14th place. Stevenson, Jakey Stevenson, 16th. But look at this. How are they going to get through the Melbourne Loop altogether? Well, they do. But Mark Vic, who was at the receiving end earlier on, has now got a nice handy advantage again of almost a full second. Sanchez has just waved at Burr. Get in behind me. Oh, and Vic pushing, pushing, pushing. They're all pushing. Down the Wheatcroft Straight. Can Gonzalo Sanchez return to winning ways here in the R3 World Cup? He did a double in Barcelona. He won 1 race at Assen. He won 1 race at Misano. Sanchez is yet to go through a full weekend of 2024 without winning at least one of the races. He's got some tough nuts to crack here, though, and that's one of them, as he takes Yamani, and Sales and Di Persio are side by side as well. Di Persio runs wide. Mario Sales, having set that fastest lap, has shot through from 7th place, and on the curbs is the championship leader on the outside of Schwantz corner. That's Sanchez. He's up the inside of Yamani. Well, what a charge it is for Mario Sales, the rider from Brazil, who was 7th just a couple of minutes ago, just a couple of laps ago. Set that fastest lap of the race I mentioned, which he still holds. That was on lap 4, just 2 laps ago, and now he's running in 2nd place. He'll be absolutely made up with this. It's not been the easiest start to the season so far for Mario Sales. He's down in 8th place in the championship. He's yet to finish on the podium this year. His highlight was pole position for round 2 at Assen in the Netherlands. There's Mark Vic. What can Sales do? Desperate for that first victory. There's Eduardo Burr. Di Persio's on the outside. Good riding. Burr looks behind him and sees Takahashi, the namesake of the more famous Takumi Takahashi, who of course is an extremely competent, quick and well-known superbike racer. This is the younger version, number 16. 16 years of age, and number 16 as well, with 4 laps to go here at Donington. 20 degrees Celsius ambient temperature, 27 track temperature, just about perfect conditions here at Donington Park. Sales goes on the defensive. He's going to lose momentum there. I predict an overtake here for the rider in third place. That didn't happen. I thought Sanchez might dive up the inside into the old hairpin, but he chose not to do it. There's Yamani trying to make the best of a rather bruising weekend. Didn't really work out yesterday when he started on pole position. We are now into the final third of the race, meaning if the red flags were to come out as Takahashi exceeds track limits running wide there in the background, but if the red flags were to come out, it would be declared a full result and full points handed out. What do you do, Gonzalo Sanchez? Do you attack Mario Sales? I don't think so. You're going to have to defend now from your championship rival, Mark Vick, who's nearly being run into the back of. He has! I saw that coming. That was De Percio. He was so late on the brakes, he floated his way down into the Melbourne Loop and he actually clipped the back of Mark Vick's bike. That was a major save there for both of them. Not least for De Percio, because 9 times out of 10, rear wheel wins against front in a scenario like that. Here's the fight going on further back in the race, and this is David Novak, yesterday's podium man, who's only 8th here. Jolan, Swain, Tondermoon and Borgelt right behind him, but back at the front it's Sales. Only 3 laps to go and Sanchez goes through. He'll extend his championship lead if he wins this race, but not if Mario Sales has anything to do about it. He's fighting for his first ever win in the R3 bLU cRU World Cup. Mark Vick now with the yellow crash helmet. The rider from Mallorca sweeps back around the outside. How many doubles have we had so far in 2024? The answer is 1, and that was Sanchez at Barcelona, the season opener on the 3rd weekend of March. How have they geared these bikes? Do you go for 1 lap pace? Do you gear it for a slipstream to avoid hitting the rev limiter? 3 abreast in the middle of the pack. Vick, having had to go defensive on the entry, loses momentum on the exit. This is Melbourne. Sanchez goes through, but can he make it stick? That's the question. I think he can. Sales up the inside, takes De Percio, that's 3rd place. And we're coming through now to the penultimate lap of what is the shortest circuit on the calendar for the R3 bLU cRU World Cup. 4 kilometres, 2.4 miles. Sales right in the mix there. Maintains that 3rd position, and De Percio's in a bit of trouble as we come through to the penultimate lap. Sales and Vick fighting for this championship, fighting for the race win, and Vick's taking him again. Now these are small bikes and somebody's down, that's a problem. Can you believe it? Cameron Swain, number 26, the Australian, is out of the race. And that's Goddard's at the end of the lap. He just can't get a break, can he? Every time he seems to come a bit stronger, something goes wrong. Too many crashes this season for Cameron Swain. Look at Sanchez. He takes Mark Vick, but we know Mark's very strong in this part of the lap. Can he come back at him into McLean's? Is he going to show him a wheel? No, he's not. Sales definitely shows Vick a wheel, though. De Percio's in there, number 69. You can see the flags of the various nationalities of the riders on the front of the bikes. 7/10 of a second covering the first 7 riders in the race. There's an enormous 8-second gap to the chasing pack behind. And what can Eduardo Burr do as well? Number 88, he's at the back of the pack now. He was leading the race earlier on, but it's his Brazilian compatriot Mario Sales, number 42, the 16-year-old. Aiming for his first ever victory in the championship. Now this is a dress rehearsal, and hello, Takahashi's getting involved, almost over the foot of Mario Sales, and Takahashi goes through. Wonderful stuff from the Japanese rider who was on the podium 2nd at Assen in race 1 there earlier on this season. He's run wide though, coming out of Goddard's. This is the final lap of the race here at Donington Park, and the magnificent 7, 5 abreast on the run down to Redgate Corner are all fighting for victory. Mario Sales, he's never won in the championship. Can he break his duck here in less than 2 minutes' time? Takumi Takahashi drops down to 3rd place because DePersio's gone through. And look at Sanchez, Gonzalo Sanchez on the inside of his championship rival Mark Vick. He is the target. Mark Vick's run wide, and it's the final lap. That was the green paint. That's going to be an automatic penalty, I'm afraid, for Mark Vick. Would you believe it? We've seen similar scenarios in the championship earlier on this year. I guess Mark will be aware of that, but there's nothing he can do. He's got to fight as hard as he can. Mario Sales goes defensive. DePersio in that 2nd position. Sales is hoping for his first victory in the class, and so is DePersio. And so is Takahashi in 3rd position. So the current top 3 all yet to win in the class, but Sanchez right on cue, perfectly timed move. Vick's gone through as well for 2nd place, but I do fear Vick will get a penalty. Does he know that? Sanchez with the lead down to Melbourne for the last time. Surely Vick will attack. He has to attack. He does attack. Do they all get through cleanly? Yes, they are so far. Look out for DePersio, the Italian. On the inside, it's Mark Vick leading. He defends down to Goddard's for the last time. Here comes DePersio. It's Vick with the advantage on the track. Vick out of Goddard's. Mark Vick down the Wheatcroft Straight. He was wide at the old hairpin, but on the track, he wins at Donington Park. DePersio is 2nd. Sanchez is in 3rd position. And here is David Novak down in 8th place. 8 points for David, but he would have been happier with the 20 he had yesterday. Mark Vick then wins at Donington Park, but the question is, did he run wide onto that green paint coming through the old hairpin? Will he be given a post-race penalty? If he is, and it is a big if at the moment, and podium under review is now up on our timing screen. If he's penalised, and I think he will be, I'm afraid to say, Alessandro DePersio, number 69, the 16-year-old from Abruzzo in the south of Italy, would be a winner for the first time. Here he is. The AG Motorsport Italia rider is provisionally 2nd, but I predict he will be the winner of this motorcycle race once the stewards have double-checked everything on the monitors, which they will do so, and of course they'll deliberate very carefully. Sanchez, 3rd. The question is, of course, if and when Vick is given that penalty, how many positions will he drop? Will it just be the 1? We'll see. Sanchez certainly finished behind him on the track. Provisionally, it's Sanchez leading Vick by 5 points in the championship. Well, I fear for Mark Vick's sake that it's not going to stay like that. We'll find out very shortly, I'm quite sure. I hope for my sake and for Vick's sake, actually, that I'm wrong, but I do think he was on that green paint on the last lap. DePersio, 17 years of age. He turned 17 on the Thursday, actually, after the Catalan round. Here's Novak. Here's Vick. But like I say, the podium is under review. They're going to be held in the pit lane when they come in, and then if changes are made to the results, the riders will be informed. Mark Vick certainly waving to the crowd, so he certainly feels he's won the race. Okay, this is the moment of truth. Down the pit lane we shall come, and into the Parc Fermé area, but they're not going to be going to the Parc Fermé area yet. I suspect they're going to be held here by the organisers. And I'm keeping a very close look at the timing screen here in the commentary box. At the moment, it still says Vick, DePersio, Sanchez, 1, 2, 3. Yamane in 4th position from Takahashi. Mario Sales was leading in the closing stages of the race. And I'm not laughing at the fact he's fallen down to 6th. I'm laughing at the fact that it is so unpredictable. He was just ahead of Burr, his compatriot, and this is what I said was going to happen. You'll know what they've been told because the body language will give it away. The podium under review, as you can see at the top of the screen. Mark Vick being congratulated and congratulating others on what at the moment provisionally is a double. Is this going to be DePersio's first ever win in the R3 World Cup? The stewards will be going through now. They'll be rocking it back and forth, and they've got various angles, the TV cameras, and also the CCTV plus other additional angles they have in the box. They're able to fast forward, rewind, pause, zoom in. Okay, one penalty's been given out so far. Number 56 has been given a penalty. That's Yamani. That's for drop exceeding track limits on the last lap, and indeed Vic as well. Alessandro Di Persio wins for the first time in his career in the FIM Yamaha R3 bLU cRU World Cup. And we know why that is, because we saw it. It was the old hairpin on the last lap of the race. So Vic is demoted one position critically, so he's still eaten into the lead of Sanchez as they restart the bikes. Sanchez third, but Yamani and Vic were both on the green paint coming out of the old hairpin on the last lap of the race. So there you are. We have a new winner, and it's Alessandro Di Persio, the Italian. He's come up through the ranks in the pre-Moto 3 class of the CIV, the Italian series, then the European Talent Cup, and then he went back into pre-Moto 3 in Italy in 2022, and there he is.
Race to the right in the World WCR Series. So much support down here for Alessandro Di Persio. Quiet, very shy young man that does his talking on the track. His mouth in absolute.
Number one. Alessandro Di Persio, number 69 from Italy, is a winner for the first time, and that was a long time coming, wasn't it, for Alessandro? So we have another winner in the 3.5-year history of this championship, the 16th different winner in history, and the third new winner this season after Sanchez and Christian Pucci, the wild card last time out. There you are, Di Persio, Vic, Sanchez. Also a shout out for Mario Sales in 6th place, who was delighted to win World Superbike's Got Talent, one of the many competitions happening in the Paddock Show Bonanza, and the huge show we had here, the concert. Sanchez was up there as well last night, along with the Aruba team from the Superbike class. Well, this has been an interesting weekend, hasn't it, for Sanchez? He's already thinking ahead. You can see the cogs going, can't you? He's already thinking ahead to Magny-Cours and then Aragon. First time this season that Sanchez hasn't finished on the top step of the podium in a race. On to the next one. It's exactly what I was thinking. He wants to be able to smile, but he can't, because he's annoyed with himself, because he knows he could have done better. He was saying that to me yesterday. He said we had a few problems, not with the bike. I think what happened yesterday is when we had the situation, they were sent back out on wet weather tyres, but most of the track was still dry, and some of the riders, of course, were using different settings, not necessarily in line with the tyres they were using at that point. Mark Vic second, a win in a second. He's only dropped 5 points. Now watch, this is the critical moment. This is when Mark Vic touches the green paint there on the last lap of the race. And at that point, as you can see, he was in 5th place. He ended up fighting through to the win, but as I predicted at the time, he lost the win because of that. But a very happy new winner. It's Alessandro Di Persio from Italy, and he is with Georgia Wells.
Alessandro, since Misano, we've seen you be very competitive, taking podium after podium. It's your first time here in Donington Park, and finally you've won your first R3 bLU cRU World Cup race. Tell us how you feel.
Yeah, for me it's incredible. I'm very happy to stay here. Thank you to all my team, all my sponsors, Fayeta Motors. I'm very happy. I don't have words. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here he is, down into the last corner. Of course, with the benefit of hindsight, even if he'd finished behind Mark Vic, he would have won anyway because of Mark's penalty. But Mark was behind Alessandro when he ran wide at the old hairpin. Vic diving back underneath him, finished on the top step at the time, but then was demoted for that green paint on the last lap of the race. Here they all come. their first opportunity to chat with one another as well at the end of the race. The Donington crowd showing their appreciation. They've loved that. Don't forget, we will be live for all of the remaining races this season here on the Yamaha Racing YouTube page.
Downhill, and then you go up, I go a little bit down.
That's Mark Vick explaining to De Percio where he ran wide, thus receiving that penalty. There's Sanchez. First time this year he's gone through a whole weekend without winning a race.
Yamaha R3 bLU cRU.
Mark Vick demoted to second, but not a bad weekend with 45 points from a possible 50, and De Percio wins. First time he's ever done that.
And we begin now with the presentations to our third place finisher, Gonzalo Sanchez Melendez.
Sanchez still leads the championship, heading to the next races at Magny-Cours, but there's a big break now. And that's the weekend of the 5th, 6th and 7th of September.
And now the 25 championship points.
Mathematically, of course, Sanchez could actually win the championship at Magny-Cours if he has two strong races and his rivals hit trouble, but I'd be very surprised if this did not go on to Aragon at the end of the season. Well done, Alessandro De Percio. A brilliant end to the race. Some superb racecraft there from the Italian.
Now, please, ladies and gentlemen, your respect for the manufacturer Yamaha, the national anthem of Japan. Congratulations to our top three. Come on, Donington, make some noise for Alessandro, to Mark, and to Gonzalo.
The ever-loyal British motor racing public staying on for all of the support races here at Donington.
We'll get the official Donington Park Race 2 R3 Cup podium.
And they were treated there by the competitors in the FIM Yamaha R3 bLU cRU World Cup. So one of the best races of the event, without doubt. 7 of them fighting for victory right down to the wire. Hill there with the top 3.
Podium finish for you. That's every single race.
And as Michael says, it's another podium finish for Gonzalo. It's just the once he's missed a podium, isn't it, this year, when he crashed at Assen earlier this season. De Percio wins for the first time. Mark Vick second. Great weekend for him, with Sanchez third. Cameron Swain, unfortunately, with that incident, he's really been out of luck this season so far. Hopefully more coming. And well done, Jakey Stevenson as well, picking up another point. So 3 of them this weekend. Here's the situation in the championship then. 10 points is all it is, with 100 points still left up for grabs. And De Percio, he's not out of this either. Today's winner up into the top 3 of the championship. Well, many thanks from all of us here at Yamaha Racing. Ian Wheeler, Georgia Wells, with all of the information you've been brilliantly supplying us with, Georgia. Alex Raby will be back with a highlights clip of all of the action later in the week. And from me, Greg Haynes, thanks for joining us. We'll be back at Magny-Cours in September. We've got Vic now just 10 points behind Sanchez, but a new winner and a new title challenger for the R3 World Cup of 2024. It's number 69. It's the Italian, it's the 16-year-old from Abruzzo, It's Alessandro Di Persio.